When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish,
the podcast that offers these comforting words to anyone who has lost a husband. When God closes a door, he opens a widower.
Oh, God. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Dan,
Jesus.
Close that mouth. Just gotta look on the bright side.
Horror movies come out in February. A whole bunch of them do. So like maybe he's going to come back from the dead and fuck his husband for fucking up after he died because he's haunting him.
Zombies are hot.
Zombie gay dead husbands.
Gay zombies are hot.
I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Gayish.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And today
we're
going to talk about butt plugs.
We're going to talk about, oh shit, I thought we were talking about for bathtub. My segment's going to still apply, actually. It's going to be all the same.
Great episode. This has been Gayish. I'm Mike Johnson.
Before we get into news.
Before that. But first.
But plug first.
Yep.
I wanted to read something that I saw on Instagram, which was actually just a screenshot of a tweet, which is... Social media is so weird.
It's a conception in tech form.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Actually, I saw it posted on Reddit. Someone had posted an Instagram post of a tweet on Reddit.
Great. Put that in our Facebook group and see what happens.
Okay, so someone we talked about Pete Buttigieg, and regardless of how you feel about him, it's
Buttigieg.
Okay, butt plug judge. Butt plug. I judge. We talked about how it's historic that he's a serious candidate.
That he has actual
nominee.
Delegates going into a national convention of a major party.
Yeah. So this was super relevant. We'll throw out someone's good thing to consider. This is from @Chase Strangio. Chase Strangio. Whose tweet on Instagram from Reddit says, quote, "To all the white LGBTQ people celebrating the milestone or history making of Pete, I strongly disagree. Nothing about white people who align with white supremacy to take power represents progress in my view." That had 1.2 thousand retweets and 6.8 thousand likes. Even though I still stand by, I think it's historic, regardless of how you feel, because it hasn't happened before. It is important to think about, but it doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean it is the exact candidate that we need to also think about LGBTQ people of color.
Does it support white supremacy because he's white, or did he do something?
I don't know. He's gotten a lot of feedback on does not have the support of the black community.
He does not. Yeah.
So,
and you can't win without that as a Democrat anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Can of worms that I don't want to open, but here I go. Are you going to vote for Trump then?
I don't think that has to be the point. Or at least to me, what I'm taking this as is, yes, it is historic, and also there are people of color that may not be represented by him being there. So
sure.
So I mean, this is what we do on this podcast is I don't know if I feel like I particularly do it of here are all the things I don't like about this thing that happened.
Sure.
We can say this is progress, and also there are a lot of other things we need. We need a candidate that is not only LGBTQ but also supports the trans people, the black people, the people of color, the marginalized people within our community as well.
I'm going to leave the country on that plane.
Wow, it's right there too. It's coming for you.
Yep. Canada, here I come. Okay, so the first event in a triathlon is the swimming part. And most triathlons...
This already sounds racist.
Most triathlons... most triathlons oversell the number of people that could or should be in the race. And all of these people jump into the water and start swimming at the same time. And people fucking drown because they get drug under by this just horde of swimming people. And I just worry that that's what we're doing. The Republicans are in a speedboat racing all over the lake. And meanwhile, we're just dragging each other down and we're going to fucking drown because everybody's, I don't know. It's just,
I have a I get what you're saying. I don't like that this is what I think, but I think we actually have to have some of these battles and rivalries and whatever to get into the news. Trump said a lot of shitty things during his presidency and got a lot of news coverage because of that, and that contributed to him winning. I think we need news coverage, and the interesting thing right now, unfortunately, is people being shitty to each other. Yep. So, unfortunately, I think we need that is going to help Democratic candidates. I don't like that that's where we're at. I don't like that that's... I'm not saying I like that or support it. I'm just saying that's what I think needs to happen.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
Fuck the U.S.
Till the Bernie bros go take their toys home and we end up with Trump again. Yeah. Okay, great.
Great, cool, fun. News?
Sure, yeah, let's do the news.
Do we have a news theme song? Or do I need to...
Oh, God. Jussie Smollett is back.
Yeah.
And I'm just so confused.
Why? Talk to me. Lend me your ear. No, I will lend you my ear. Give me your 2 cents.
I don't understand his motives. Okay, so if you like had your head up your ass last year, Jussie Smollett was a actor on that one show that I don't watch. You said the same thing I did. Mm-hmm. That one show I don't watch. And
well, you can't now. I think it's off the air. I think it got canceled.
Oh, he got the show got hate crimed too.
Maybe that's what we'll find out in the upcoming trial.
But so last January, he says he received a threatening letter, and there was a drawing of a stick figure hanging from a tree. And then, like the week after that, he alleged that there was an attack. He was leaving a Chicago Subway restaurant around 2 a.m. Which, if you're famous, don't go to Subway. What's wrong with you? But he said he was attacked.
Or was it a restaurant in a Subway? You can't be sure.
Can't be sure. Can't believe anything he says. Apparently, he says he was attacked by 2 white men wearing ski masks, and that they put a rope around his neck and yelled racial and homophobic slurs at him. And then the next day, police announced that they were looking for 2 suspects. This whole thing. So apparently he made the whole thing up. That's the accusation.
Right.
That he hired his 2 bodyguards, who also appear sometimes in Empire, to do this to him. And so then he was being investigated by the police for filing a false police report. And then there's debate. Republicans hate him because they're like exactly what they and their weird, fucked up victim minds think is happening all the time, that people are making shit up.
Yeah.
Well, here was one actually making shit up. So they ran with that.
Allegedly.
So then the charges were dismissed.
And that was like a year ago, right? Like that was a while ago.
On some kind of technicality. March 26th, the prosecutors dropped all charges against him. They released a statement. 2019. Saying part of their motivation for dropping all charges was his volunteer service in the community and agreeing to forfeit his $10,000 bond to the city of Chicago because he posted bail.
Okay. I mean, I have a lot of opinions of this, but like, yeah, let's pay people to get out of jail. Right. This is a problem of our justice system.
Right. Then in June, he was fired from the show. And then at the end of June, there was footage that was released of him from the night of the alleged attack. And then he sued the city of Chicago in November. Anyway, last week, February 12th, new charges have been filed, and a grand jury has charged him with 6 counts of disorderly conduct for lying to police. Here's the thing. It means, and I haven't decided yet, everything's alleged, innocent until proven guilty. I believe in all of this shit. A grand jury indictment is kind of a big deal. Like in terms of they've gathered a bunch of evidence, they've looked at it, they've gone over it, they being an independent jury, and have decided, yeah, we should go forward with these charges. It's not looking so good for Jussie.
Interesting. Yeah, I was in the past defending him because it was like the police were like, nope, this was fake. And it's like, I remember looking.
Believe victims.
Yeah.
Right?
And I remember looking and I couldn't find any tangible evidence that the police were providing to say it was fake. I heard a lot of, what's it called when it's not for sure? Circumstantial. Circumcisional evidence. And so, yeah, it was like, what, we're going to believe the police that have clearly have a stake in this but I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll be interested to hear actual evidence of why people think he did this.
Well, a court date is set for February 24th, and we will for sure be talking about it on this show because that's what we do.
Cool. I mean, not cool, but.
Yeah. Okay, great. Next.
You
know who Lindsey Graham is?
That dude that sucks, right?
Yes, Senator Lindsey Graham, who sucks and probably sucks dick. He's a senator from South Carolina, Republican, white dude, not married, soup's gay.
I hate that. That's I know. I hate it.
Yeah, he's normally vociferously anti-LGBT. So when Rush Limbaugh got in trouble last week for saying that the country's not ready to elect Mayor Pete, Lindsey Graham came out and said that Rush is wrong.
Oh, Rush. I heard Russia is wrong.
Rush.
Nope. No Republican would say that.
Rush is wrong. The senator told the Associated Press, quote, "It's a miscalculation as to where the country is at. I think the country is not going to disqualify somebody because of their sexual orientation." And then they asked him if Limbaugh should get to keep his Presidential Medal of Freedom. And Graham said, well, my God, free speech still exists. And I think it's funny. He once said that if he was ever elected president, that the first lady would have to be his sister and his close female friends. Like he has some posse of chicks. Like
all the fag hags storm the White House and do it upright.
Bro is gay. Anyway, I know he's not gay. Self-identify.
Well, but also like to support the gay community in an unexpected way like that, and then for you to call him gay, I hate that, because then that says if you support the gay community, that means you're gay, which we need straight people to support the gay community.
Yeah, I think both sides are wrong. I think that the Democrats are like, well, it shouldn't matter that he's gay, and of course the country is ready because there's this like bright shining thing, and I think the Republicans are wrong that like being gay doesn't matter. I don't see gayness. Like there's this like Republicans deny all the time that hate criming is a thing, that discrimination is a thing. It's the U.S. of A. We don't discriminate against anybody. You must be making it up.
Previous news story.
Yeah, and I think that's probably where Lindsey Graham is coming from. That like just denial that discrimination is happening.
I think you're giving Republicans more credit than I would.
Oh,
I think they are openly against LGBT people.
Except Lindsey Graham. Who
you then called a homosexual.
Oh, God. Okay. News of the last?
Yeah.
In Seattle, Washington,
we live there.
The Shakespeare podcast officially started production yesterday.
Okay.
It's a major news item.
Let's move on.
Oh, come on now.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to talk about it at the bottom of the show. Just like Shakespeare, It's starting. It's happening.
Bottom.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
We had actors in my home yesterday.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Good ones that like know Shakespeare, like have done Shakespeare.
Yep.
Plays.
So watch this space.
Yeah.
More news on that to come on my face. Great.
And some of the actors have then said they've listened to this podcast.
I know, it's weird.
Which is like, don't.
Because I'm trying to be like serious and do like director shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, they know like I talk about dicks and butts and stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, so did Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
in good company. Okay. I want to thank Patreon members.
Yeah.
Jordan Maynor.
Okay.
I don't know. Maynor Pete? Jordan Maynor Pete? I don't know.
Wait, do you want to not make fun of them or not?
That's not making fun of.
Okay.
That's just stringing together names. Brewer Debeveka. And
do you want me to read it?
well, then you'll see my segment.
Oh, no, I won't look. Brewer Debevek, I would say.
See, just because you're more confident doesn't mean you're right.
It does.
Brewer Devevek, let us know. And Victor Torres.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, I got that in the R roll.
Torres.
Did I ever tell you that for my birthday, people bought me a lap dance at a female strip club, and while she was giving me a lap dance and I was really uncomfortable, she purred in my ear?
Nice.
That was weird. It was like, is this a thing people want? It was very uncomfortable.
Did you get hard?
No.
Okay.
Thank you to all of our Patreon members. I'll point out, because people have asked me, I think we're on early January so far for like people that have joined. So if you've joined recently, you're on the list. You're on the waiting list. You're on the queue.
Yeah. Hold your fucking horses.
Don't
be so goddamn impatient.
Hold your fucking horses, everybody.
Hold your horse cocks.
Okay. Thank you to our Patreon members. If you want bonus content and for me to say your name in 3 months, then go to patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
I got some bonus content for you.
Ooh.
We got something in the mail.
Oh, yeah. Which we have a new mailbox, a P.O. box.
Yep. this package is not fucking around.
No, it's like a legit package, and it's kind of heavy, and so it might. Does that fit in our box?
No. There's
butt plugs.
They did that thing where like I opened up the mailbox and there was a key, and the key was to some other mailbox that had this in it, like the package locker, I think is what they call it.
This is really interesting for our audience. Let's tell
like
the specifics of.
Wow.
Yeah. It's from Joe in Dallas.
I'm unmuting because maybe there's something for me.
I think there is. It says open this side, which if I get shot in the face by something when I get this.
I'm glad you're doing this.
You should be so lucky.
Because
there's a note.
A note taped to the side. Here we go. Hi, boys. Happy Valentine's Day. In the spirit of RuPaul and let's be honest, comedy gold, I sent you these because how the hell are you going to love somebody else if you can't love yourself? Enjoy the ones represented by size. Large/enormous, Mike, because practice makes perfect. Medium, Dan, because I hope one of the boyfriends will read the story. Small, Kyle, because he has a teeny tiny place for it.
My heart.
Now, these are simply the recommendations, but I know you will do whatever you want with them. Have fun, enjoy yourselves, and remember, you now have an option when you say, put a butt plug in it.
Oh,
is new this party game? Every time you need to get back on track, Dan can put a butt plug in it, and that way he'll remember to remind you. XOXO. Joe in Dallas.
We did not know what was in here, so this might be perfect timing.
I mean, that's just a dildo.
But it has a thing at the end.
The tapered base makes it a butt plug, I think.
Sweet I'm all about that tapered
Jesus.
base. Tapered base.
That's what a 10-inch dick looks like, kids.
Damn, that's a giant flesh penis-shaped butt plug.
It seems feasible that could be real.
Oh, I thought you were going to say to put in your butt. And I was
what are the blue things?
Well, I don't, oh, good lord. Oh, that was only 9 inches. And black. Let's see, did I miss
Okay,
something?
The small one
that
is only 7.5 inches? I might need to explain to everyone what a small butt is, and it's not this.
Well, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe in Dallas.
Thank you, Joe.
We appreciate it. If you want to send us stuff, it's P.O. Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109.
And if you are going to do that, you now know that we have our fill of butt plugs, so you don't need
we have enough of those.
We have enough to fill ourselves, so but thank you.
And we'll each be sending putting a photo on the Discord service.
Incorrect.
Should we talk about other butt plugs?
Let's talk about other butt plugs that are not the ones that have just been presented to us in this box. Should I give you some numbers?
Oh, you need numbers first.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, yeah, sure.
Per use. Here's a little bit of data. I'm surprised it actually found some, it's not great, but some information on this.
Butt plug data.
Butt plug data. This is the content you come here for. Something sexual that then turns into statistics.
Oh, if somebody could send me a butt plug that looks like data, that would be good.
Okay, this is from Gaystar News, which is not a website anymore, but still has content on it. And I saw a lot of articles that had a very similar title, and they were proclaiming that more straight men are using dildos to masturbate and things in their butt to masturbate than you would think.
Okay, I saw a guy on Chatterbait this week who like had the like most perfectly like totally shaved, like he looked slimy because he had so much like lube and oil back there, like it looked like his ass was made out of plastic. Just getting railed by this massive like arm that had a dildo on the end of it, but then he kept talking about how much his girlfriend loves that he does this. Like it was, I did not know how
arm
to
that had a dildo, a real person,
no,
like a metal person?
like a metal arm that
not an arm, like you're
machine,
talking about
a machine,
yeah, like a fuck machine,
a fuck machine. Was fucking this guy who claims to be straight with like the biggest automated dildo ever.
Okay.
And I just like, so I'm saying data point of 1, this guy on Chatterbait lets me believe that perhaps what you're saying has some credibility.
Well, but also the way you said it, you said this guy claims to be straight. You said it in a way that implied skepticism.
I mean, all dudes have a prostate, I guess. So if you discover it and you're down, then fine. I think it just, we have such a stigma about receptive anal sex and that it's effeminate or feminizing or emasculating.
Yeah.
That I think straight guys especially have a harder time getting on board with that. And if they do and they can, then great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think a lot of times I feel like when we talk on this podcast, we are talking, I often talk my hypothetical perfect self. I can think through and say, I have these beliefs and anyone can use a dildo or a butt plug and it doesn't but when you're out in the real world, like I would make assumptions. I would still have my biases. Like
assumptions.
I don't know what I was expecting out of this episode. So the data that all of these articles reference, this article came out in 2016, or at least in Gaystar News. All of the articles referenced psychologist Alison Kirschbaum's, I'm going to call it Kirschbaum, surveyed hundreds of men on their past masturbatory habits. Masturbatory
is my new favorite thing you've ever said.
Oh,
sorry. Okay, got it. I got it together. Okay.
That's not that. I don't think that's that good.
I'm in a mood.
I appreciate
it's
you.
Yep.
I mean, every masturbation is in the past,
it's
unless
true.
you're like really in the middle of it. Okay. Anyway, this was gay and straight men.
Remember, as Professor Irwin Corey once said, "Wherever you come, there you are."
And as Mitch Hedberg said, the late great Mitch Hedberg, I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too. I used to masturbate. I still do. So everyone, these are from gay and straight men, but the reason people are saying that straight men do it more than average is the assumption is a majority of these people, at least 90%, would be straight.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that for sure. So that's where this data jumps right to conclusions that I think are probably fair, but not directly in the data.
Sure.
So that's what I wanted to tell you, Mike.
Great.
Mr. Nitpicky.
Yeah.
So there are a bunch of results about different things that men do. And also they said just gay and straight. So I don't know if they just forgot about bi people, as you do, or per usual, or if it's specifically just gay or straight. So whom knows? This is okay. There's some weird numbers. 94% of men touch or stroke during masturbation, which, like, to me, that's it.
Their dick?
I presume touch or stroke dick.
How are the 6% doing it? I want to know.
Well,
tell me how to not do that.
Show me how to Dougie. Show me how to Dougie down on myself. Well, I mean, 66% rub it on a surface. So you can, like, pillow fuck.
Sure, yeah. Sex with furniture. What do you think? That's a line from UHF.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were proposing that as a discussion topic. Let's discuss sex with furniture. They don't call it a love seat for nothing. Yeah, it's a
new thing to call your butt.
No, wait. That's a top stick. Is their love seat?
Okay.
Because sit on it.
Great.
What are we talking about?
Butt plugs.
Butt plugs. Well, I don't do this. I don't rub on a surface. I see like even videos of like solo masturbation rarely because I'm the opposite. I want gangbangs, but I don't do the like fuck a pillow thing to masturbate.
Yeah, I don't like the feeling of like cloth or like fabric on my dick. This is a weird. How are we talking about this right now? I find it uncomfortable. Like very much a turnoff. So people that are like, I'm going to fuck this sock. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Well, I think people just come in the sock, right? They don't fuck the sock.
But even then, like putting my dick in a sock, even if I'm not like thrusting in and out of the sock, there's still a sock touching my dick. Like that's not, I'm not down.
I barely want socks to touch my feet.
Hey, Shakespeare cast members listeing to this.
Welcome. Welcome. You know way too much about the person directing you.
Action.
Other things people do, also in the vein of like, what else are you doing? 81% of people.
How veiny.
So in the so much veiny territory, 81% of people have fantasies, which like, I mean, yeah, what else are you doing? Just like really in the moment, like I'm masturbating. This is my dick. This is great.
Maybe they mean like, no, that doesn't make any sense either. Does jerking off to porn count as fantasy?
I was thinking about that. I think so, because I'm pretending that this is in any way affecting my life and not just something I'm watching.
And when you say 80% of men do this when they masturbate, is that like every time or ever have?
Those are really good questions, Mike. Okay, 35%. I told you, I don't know. This is like all the data we have. So
we're sexploring together.
34%, 35% do some nipple play.
Yeah, because it's the best.
But I thought it was like tickling. Can you play with your own nipples and get turned on?
Fuck yes.
Weird.
Every time.
Every time?
Yeah, just about every time.
Every time? You're a tweaker?
I don't know. I mean, like, you got to treat them nice. Like, because there's some people that are into them, like, being twisted or pulled or bit or whatever.
Yeah.
Not down with that. Like, for me, it's a very sensual exercise.
And gentle. Oh, your nipples are a metaphor.
Yes. And then I have a couple of friends that know this about me and like grab them in public. And I'm like, you don't understand.
Oh, I think they do.
That's like you're touching my dick and it's not okay. Like,
Cedric does that all the time.
Oh, well, we talked a little bit about like our foot rubs. If you know the person is into it, like any kind of like sexual like boundary, like this is the same thing. Like, I guess don't touch people's nipples in general. That's a general rule. That's different than feet.
but then there's also the like, it's okay to kid around with me. That's fine. Like, I would be fine. Like, go ahead and punch me in the arm when you tell a funny joke. I don't know what I'm saying right now.
What if I split the difference and punch you with a nipple?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
You're too far away
That's
right
just
now,
like,
but-
that's percussive. That's... It would be okay.
Did you know the start of the break song is actually Mike punching himself in the nipple 4 times? Okay, let's keep going to the actual point of this. 34% stimulate their anus.
34%. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
If we just do the rough assumption that 10% of 10% of the men surveyed are gay, that would leave 24 percentage point 24% of straight men that stimulate their anus.
No, you're using numbers way wrong right there.
Okay.
Percentages don't work that way.
Well, fuck. And that's what they did.
Yeah, but if you have 100 people and 10% of them are gay, that means 10 of them are gay.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 100 people, 34% of them stimulate their anus. 34% of them that could be none of the gay people.
Well, exactly.
I'm sure it's not.
Right. This is why I said rough assumptions.
So
because we got to like take some. It's either 34% straight people or like you're not going to get out of 100. The point is you're not going to have 34 gay people out of 100.
Right, because there's only 10.
So
of
the
them.
estimate is 10%. So then the rest of the 24 would be the straight people. That would be 24% of the total
At a minimum.
Yeah, and again, like we don't, this is why like they didn't just survey straight or gay people, so we don't know exactly. The presumption is that if 34% of this group stimulate their anus, then there's at least some straight people in there.
All right, straight people, play with your butt.
Play with your butt, touch your butt. It's really cool. 32% use a vibrator.
Okay.
24% insert an object.
Okay.
One of which could be a butt plug.
They end up
That's
in
how
the
it
ER.
ties. Well, I have some tips. I have some butt plug tips that are
Okay.
going to come later to help not get into the ER.
Mm-hmm.
Unless ER is erect and ready.
Or like if you're expecting the cast of ER. or
This is the
Grey's
fantasy.
Anatomy.
George
It's-
Clooney. What are you doing here? Your dick is just a butt plug. This dream got weird. So I think the point stands, though, that straight people are using these. And I think more and more, like, it's been more and more acceptable for women to, or straight couples, male and female couples, to do anal stuff.
Yeah.
And so it should be more and more common then for men. I think that's the next step then, is straight men. Like, yeah, you have a pleasure button inside your butt. You're going to feel weird about touching it maybe because it seems gay, but like also imagine discovering a new world of pleasure, a whole new world. So straight people do it. Just do it. Just try it.
Yeah.
You have a prostate. Make use of it.
Mine's broken.
I don't know what to say back to that.
It's fine.
Is this a joke or a true thing?
Oh, it's a true thing, I think.
Let's talk about this.
Okay. I don't think mine works. Like,
Okay. Keep.
I'm relatively certain that I know where my prostate is and that I've done things to it, but it doesn't do much for me and it makes me feel broken.
Oh yeah, you definitely are. It should.
I agree.
What? Are you sure you're getting it right?
I mean,
I don't think you
there's been a lot of things up there.
list them in alphabetical order.
A, Adam. B.
It's Adam and Mike's butt, not Adam and Steve.
Yeah.
I have you ever been getting railed?
Yes.
And then
So far, yes.
So good. Thanks, Adam. And then it just feels so good. And then you come and you're like, this is so pleasure. I was gonna say orgasmic, but that's like literal in this case. Like, it's just so good.
I mean, okay, so like the idea of a hands-free orgasm just from anal stimulation, which I know is a thing for many, many men, has been an unreachable, inconceivable thing for me.
Get someone else to reach it.
Well, and I can have like a little bit with my sex friend. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that didn't work either. So I don't know.
Wait, how long did you spend like, yo, get into my butt?
Yeah.
Really feel your way around like a blind person at night and just like try to find it.
I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. Gayish.
Do it.
I'm saying this out loud. I got this idea sort of from something that Dan had said, and I told him I'm going to wear a jockstrap the next time we hang out, and I want you to put 2 loads in me before I even take it off because I want to.
You asked Dan to put 2 loads in you?
No. Like the guy I hook up with.
Okay.
And because I thought like if I had the pressure removed of ever like touching myself, because that was like a rule about what we were doing, then I could just concentrate on what was happening in the back end. And man, it was like an hour, and like no, it didn't work. So I don't know. I'm broken, everybody.
But have you had a finger exploring for that?
I mean, his penis is very finger-esque.
Is not a finger. Because if it was,
yeah, not specifically. No. So
you need.
Okay.
I would suggest a finger. So the thing that everyone says, pretend like you stick if you're doing it to someone else and you're face to face, you would stick a finger in their butt and then pretend like you're saying "come here" with your index finger.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Does my waggling help you? Mm-hmm. Waggle.
I feel very weird.
Yeah,
about you doing that.
Correct. And that's where I had someone who like found it, who was like fingering me and found it and was just like press, and I was like, you gotta stop. Like, it was like so good, you gotta stop.
Okay.
Butt plugs. This isn't
butt plugs. Great.
So
I was a little worried we weren't going to have enough to talk about this episode.
Where that is never, literally never. I know what you mean. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, what are we going to say? But
oh Jesus.
So straight people get on board.
Yeah. Put shit in your ass.
Put it in.
Great. Oh man. I predict this is going to be right up there with fisting.
Great. Oh, well, our most popular episode, everyone, is jerking off. Y'all horny.
Yeah,
y'all horny.
Horny bitches.
Yeah.
So,
like double unicorn.
I'm going to talk about...
Double unicorn, dude. Okay.
People are so nice to him. I'm going to be very typical. I'm going to talk about the history of butt plugs. The history of
butt plugs?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
This is maybe
they were started by Ron Jeremy in the 80s.
His name was Dr. Young, Young. It's my new favorite thing I think that's ever happened. Most people trace the history of the butt plug to a product that was released in the late 19th century. 1893 specifically is one of the first advertisements for this product. Dr. Young's Ideal Rectal Dilators was they were medical devices.
Ideal? Like it is the best
rectal dilator available.
It was wasn't it used to like cure women of their hysteria, I would assume.
Interesting that you would say that, because no.
So not that interesting.
I mean, because like vibrators were invented specifically because women were hysterical, and this was supposed to help them by having orgasms.
Yeah.
This was they were marketed to men and women, but it was also this was the time of medical science when like something could cure everything.
Yeah,
like
leeches,
just like leeches. Yeah, well, okay, but they were medical devices sold in the United States from the late 19th century until at least the 1940s. And
wow, as late as the 1940s, they were sold as medical.
Yeah.
Damn.
They came in sets of 4, quote, torpedo-like hard rubber instruments, varying in diameter from 1/2 to 1 inch and in length from 3 to 4 inches. Wow,
you're taking the thunder out of my here's what to buy when you're getting butt plugs. Yeah. That's it.
I mean, people have been having this like gradiated
Graduated.
What am I trying to say?
Growing.
Start small and get bigger, kids.
Yeah. Penises.
So he, in an 1893 medical news editorial, noted that Dr. Young himself, writing in another journal of which he was the editor, praised rectal dilation as a cure for insanity, constipation, foul breath, bad taste in the mouth, sallow skin, acne, anemia, lassitude, mental hebitude, insomnia, anorexia, headaches, diarrhea, hemorrhoids, flatulence, indigestion, nervousness, irritability, cold extremities, and numerous other ailments.
Okay, the one I believe is flatulence. Like you like that, like let's just plug it up. You can't you have to burp then. It has to come out the other side because you plugged it up. I believe that. Also, okay, you said he submitted a paper to a magazine that he was the editor of. He like mailed himself a paper and read it and was like, this is interesting. Good points, me, and then published it.
He started a journal, became editor of it, then published his own evidence that rectal dilation is a cure for all of these things. And then another journal called Medical News pulled in research from that journal to talk about it more. Anyway, so okay, great. Let's see. Where'd the quote go? There's just an awesome quote. I love it. Oh, here we go. The instructions warned, quote, "Do not neglect to use your dilators. It is advisable to use them occasionally as a precautionary measure. You need have no fear of using them too much."
Is this how they passed to straight people of like, it's cool to stick stuff in your butt, like pretending it's a medical thing?
Maybe.
I mean, if that helps you straight people.
Remember in American Pie when Stifler went to the doctor and the nurse like milked his prostate?
No, but it sounds sexy.
It was, he was sexy, right?
Yeah.
But there was the whole thing about like he was supposed to leave a sperm sample, I think, and he's like having a hard time for it, and she's like, okay, bend over, and she puts on a glove and like shoves her whole arm in his ass. So, like, anyway, that was like a medical setting. Maybe Stifler made it okay for for straight guys to put shit up their ass.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, then he got like addicted to it. It was a whole thing. I forget which
Stifler or
Stifler. Yeah.
What's his name? Jordan Scott. Orson Scott Card.
Michael something.
Shawn Michael Scott.
Shawn Michael Scott.
Yeah, that's not a assassin's name at all, is it? Yeah, that's it. Oh, they cost $2.50, which was the equivalent of $70 in 2019 dollars. And here, I have a picture.
Wait,
too.
$70 for four?
An advertisement.
Oh yeah, we should post that to Instagram or stuff.
It's the Wikipedia article, Dan.
I have a better picture.
Great.
Oh, those
honestly, send me that one too.
Those look like bullets. They're very like.
I'm going to read this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rectal dilators. They're made of hard rubber and come in sets of 4 sizes. May be used by any intelligent person.
Dumbos. This is not for you.
Anyway, that's the history of butt plugs.
I actually liked that history segment.
Great. Can be fun and exciting.
Are you ready?
I don't probably think I am.
For the tip.
Great. Tips.
So I'm going to give you some tips.
Great.
On buying and using butt plugs. And I was going to
I recommend 15 to 20% depending on service.
Okay. I thought it was going to be like a smarter joke than it was, which is why it took a while to get it.
No,
okay.
No. I appreciate your expectations of me.
Okay. This is from the website Kinkly.
Okay. Sure.
And I was
sounds like a grocery delivery service.
Kinkly, fresh on your door every morning. Written by Mistress K. Okay. That does not sound like the delivery person.
No.
We'll deliver your lettuce, but sexy. Getting head. See, I'm funny. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Some of the tips. First, some manufacturers produce butt plugs that aren't actually safe for use in the butt. So the important thing about a butt plug is that it has that thing at the end, the little stopper. Yeah. So that means it's like much wider. And this is like what separates the butt plugs from the dildos. Like it has the thing at the end that if you put it in, it's going to stop there and it can't go any further.
Yeah.
Which I think if you're new to anal play, Hi, Shakespeare cast. So nice to have you. If you're getting into anal play for the first time, like having that is really important because you don't want to worry about like vibrators. Like you have like there's a lot of motion you have to like, and you don't want to like get it lost in there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that like going to the emergency room to have a gerbil taken out is a thing because like shit gets stuck up there.
Yeah.
Like that's
if it doesn't have a.
But hold on, shit gets stuck up there. Like, don't put yourself in that situation. Make sure you have an exit route at all times.
It's like sexual constipation. Shit gets stuck up there.
The nearest exit may be behind you. Like,
the nearest exit may be your behind. So I think one of the benefits then of using a butt plug, especially when it has the stopper, is because you can just put it in and leave it there and not do stuff with it. You don't have to put it in and out or whatever. And you don't have to jump right to like putting all the way in. But the point is, look for one that has an end that's going to be a stopper.
a flange.
Is that what it's
Or a
called?
flanged end.
Well, that sounds sexier than butt plug.
Yeah, right?
Flange me, baby.
I got flanged real hard.
Did you really?
No.
You didn't get flange recently?
No.
No.
I don't think I've had sex this year yet.
Oh, that reminds me of my straightest thing.
Confirmed. I have not had sex in 2020. Nope, that's not true. I did once. Wow. No, I did not. That was before New Year's. Nope. No sex for me in 2020.
Wow. Incel. What?
Incel. I'm going to start sending hate mail to women.
No.
For no good reason.
Well, the suggestion that Mistress K gave is many beginners can enjoy toys that are 0.75 inches to 1.25 diameter range.
Diameter. Okay.
Which, I have one that has been particularly helpful that is like, get the skinniest around little butt plug. And if you look at the skinniest around one, like you can totally do that. Like you don't need me with the tiniest of buttholes. Like you can do that pretty easily. Now, like you should work up to do a bunch of other stuff, but like that's doable.
If it hurts, stop.
If it hurts, that's a good rule.
Unless you're into that.
Unless you're into that, that's true. But with your butt, it's just like getting fissures is so shitty.
Yeah.
Especially in your butt if it hurts. This was an interesting one. Contemplate where you'd like to wear it. Yep. Your face is the same reaction I had when reading it.
On a chain around your neck? Like what's
Oh, it'll be like a heart thing. Like you wear half the butt plug and your boyfriend wears half the butt plug. Oh.
Up your butts though, right?
Up your butt. Oh, yeah. Oh, half a butt plug up your butt. Ow, those edges. I don't think about using butt plugs outside of like.
I love this episode.
I love it, and I'm sorry. Some people wear butt plugs out of the home. So if you want to do that, you may need a bigger butt plug around so it stays up there, depending on how loose you are. And so there are options where if you're wearing it out, like, you know, not only the size of the butt plug, but you could also wear comfortably tight underwear, or this is a new thing for me, a butt plug harness.
What?
Butt plug harnesses, the suspenders of the ass.
Like,
I didn't look up anything more. I have no idea. Dan had a look of recognition. Okay.
Do you guys live under rocks?
Okay, you cannot convince me that butt plug harnesses are common knowledge. I fight you. I will fight you
It's
on
like
that.
something to ensure that it stays in. Like it's not going to like pop out while you're walking around, or, you know.
I gathered that much from context clues. What's it look like? Like, how's it work? Is it like a belt?
Strapped down the ass, yeah.
Like a G-string, but with like a girthy strap.
Yeah.
Down the middle.
Here's one.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It is like a...
It's like a leather G-string, basically, that like connects to the butt plug and holds it in. Yeah.
I have a story.
Yeah.
I'm
wearing one now.
And I haven't farted all day. I was chatting with someone on an app. He actually wanted to meet up in person, like get coffee or something. And
don't you hate that?
Like, you want me to get to know you before? Like, can't you just do me? And at that time I did it. But he wanted me to put in a butt plug and then meet up in coffee. So like that was kind of fun and sexy. However, it fell out while I was walking.
Oh no!
Walking there, I like, it was like, I kind of kept trying to like, oh, I'm just, people try to hide picking a wedgie. At that point, I was hoping people thought I was picking a wedgie. So I was trying to like look like that and while like pushing it back in. And at some point it kind of fell out. So I had to wait. Till I was down a side street or like intentionally walk not on Broadway.
Duck down an alley.
Down an alley to get this out of my alley. And I had to like stealthily reach into I was wearing jeans. So I had to reach into my pants to pull it out and just put a butt plug in my pocket, which that's not a butt plug outlined in your pocket. It's like, it was real difficult. But then he's really cute and we went for a walk and I put it back in my butt. And then while we were on the walk, he touched it and pushed it in.
Aww.
But yeah, I did
romantic.
not. And then I never saw him again. I needed a butt plug harness apparently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something to think about when you are any kind of toys, but including butt plugs, is the type of lube that you use with them.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it.
A lot. Yes. So much lube. It should be dripping. But water-based lube is compatible with everything. Mm-hmm. Silicone-based lube may not work well with other silicone-based toys. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't really look at it. It can, because then they're like, oh, this may damage the butt plug. I'm like, I don't. This $10 butt plug, that's fine. Mm-hmm. So you can use it, but yeah. And like you said,
can you recycle butt plugs?
Give to a child in need.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Did you know in Africa there are millions of children that don't have a butt plug tonight? For just 10 cents a day, you can sponsor one butt plug for one child. No child without something in their behind.
No child with something in their behind. Hey, Republicans, we see you.
So what you already said, the medical thing, like get a set of butt plugs so you can start small and graduate. So like graduate, that sounds like, yeah, and like go up in size. So now we're going to get into my personal suggestions.
Okay.
Should we do this now or do you have a segment? I've been talking a whole long time.
I do have a segment.
Okay. Good,
and I think there's sort of a segue for it.
Okay. Yeah,
it's not a very long segment.
Do it.
But what is the medically verified, peer review studied, correct amount of time it is safe to have a butt plug in?
Wow. Who's studying this? This is so interesting. I would say no longer than 24 hours.
Okay. Dan, do you have a guess?
365 days?
Maybe 364. Christmas, just take it out.
So, it's a trick question. There are no good research studies that evaluate the short or long-term effects of using butt plugs. Short-term use probably is not much different than bowel movements, anal sex, or medical procedures. Long-term use, however, probably is. But that's Mark P. Behar, quoted in Shepherd Express. The article is more on wearing anal plugs long-term. There's a common, common sense is probably not a good reason to do or not do anything. Yeah. But a lot of people say 2 to 3 hours, but without like a reason why.
Yeah.
And it's not really been studied.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like, go
common
for
sense.
it.
Thomas Paine? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah. I don't know.
Common Sense, that like pamphlet or whatever.
Yeah, there was the pamphlets.
And, like in history, wasn't that Thomas Paine? I'm so smart. I had to show off one thing about history that I know. That's interesting. So use at your own risk. Is that what you're saying?
Well, use at your own risk, but also just know that like if anybody says to you, yeah, it's Thomas Paine, good job. If anybody says like you have to take it out sooner than that, like they're wrong, or at least there's no like medical proven reason.
Interesting.
And I think part of it too, like in my head, there's got to be a duration, right? Like I've been really like nervous or worried about wearing one for too long.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had one in long enough that was a concern to me.
Well, yeah, for me that's like 20 minutes and then I start psyching myself out. But like I think that there's the whole thing about like you can't put things in vaginas for very long. Like, 'cause there's like toxoplasmosis and fucking toxic shock syndrome. And
also, did you know that you're not
Toxoplasmosis.
Yeah, that's the cat
it's
disease.
from cat boxes.
Yeah. I remembered it as soon as I said it. But yeah, toxic shock. Like, anyway, so I think that got it into my head that like if you put something in your body, you got to take it out.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I don't even have a vagina, but that's still like when
You still know that somehow.
in my brainikins.
Yeah.
I think my ex-wife probably had something to do with that.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, because there's that whole thing that like, well, straight or not, that boys when they're like, you know, in junior high, they talk about like smuggling things in vaginas because they don't know how they work. And girls are like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then they get a big old lecture. Anyway.
I never got that lecture.
Yeah. We hung out with very different people, I think, when we were growing up.
I think so too.
But yeah, it got it in my head that like there's a safe amount of time.
Yeah.
Apparently there's not.
Oh.
So
you can wear it 365.
Enjoy, kids.
Yeah.
Do it.
I mean, yeah, the general rule of like if it hurts, like probably.
Yeah.
And also I would just imagine like take some breaks.
Yeah, take some breaks. But also
Again,
like
that's based on nothing though.
I think 365 days, that's a pretty obvious like you got to poop at some point, right? So there's diminishing returns or whatever.
Okay, so now what to do?
Yeah.
My suggestion, I think the big suggestion that a lot of people don't think about is they think about it. I talked specifically about masturbation in my Gayest section because a lot of people think about sex toys as like while you're having sex. But I actually see this question. I've gotten this question like from listeners and also see this question on like Reddit a lot of like, I'm not good at bottoming or I want to bottom or I've never been into butt stuff and I don't know why and how do I do it or is there something wrong with me? And
my prostate's broken. What's
my
wrong?
prostate's broken. These crazy people that have these crazy problems. I mean, a blanket statement, if you are not wrong or bad if you're gay and don't want to have anal sex. Like some people feel ostracized, like that's cool. But also there's like, you may just not be doing it right, which I wasn't for such a long time. So starting when you're masturbating is really helpful because then you get the feel of it. You know what works and not. You don't have the pressure of another person. So trying it out at home is really great.
Yeah.
Like you said, buckets of lube, just drench yourself in lube.
You can't overdo it.
Nope, you can't. Get a rubber mat
you might
to
have to
lay
do
on.
your laundry afterwards.
Yes, yeah. Wash your sheets. And then with some of those skinny ones, even me with a tiny butthole, I can just put those in. You may not be ready for that. So like you can do things like putting in like, I mean, a lot of places suggest using your finger to start off, which I don't really like that. But I mean, that can be a way to like, that's you have so much, you have complete control over your finger.
And your butthole.
And your butt. Well, I don't think you don't have... Butthole is not something I feel like I have total control over.
Oh,
like,
I just mean like dominion over.
Oh,
like,
yes. It is my body, my choice, my butt. Yeah, so a finger could be used to like kind of mess around. It's also like using a finger can help. Like you don't actually have to like get in there right away. You can go around and that can help. And yeah, using the tiniest of butt plugs. And what I like is like just putting it in there and then leaving it there, not doing anything with it, and then masturbating. Because that, I think I learned this from Dan Savage, where it's like that starts to associate your body with something in my butt and then I came. So that's good. And then if in the process, if you're not broken and it touches your prostate, then that's even better because then it feels good. The downside for me, and then I have like bigger ones that like usually I actually still start with the real small ones to like just get it together. Warm up. Yeah, exactly.
Doing your vocal exercises with your butt.
Mommy made me fuck my butthole now. Ew. And then so with the bigger ones, I always hate after I come. And then it's like, I got to get this thing out.
Yeah.
So like you really have to think about like, we talked about having a base there, but then like the size of the thing just before the base is like, yeah, you can get it in, but then you have to like, if there's no graduated part before, you just have to, don't yank it out, but like, just think about that. So like one that's really small and doesn't have that big protective, like large area that you got to get your butthole over, I would suggest for starting out. Yeah. Did that make sense? I'm like doing a lot of describing with my hands. So I don't know if it's...
I mean, it makes sense to me, but I can see your hands. Yeah.
You're all I care about.
Similarly, like guys with giant dicks, don't just pull them out either. Just don't.
Like don't pull your dicks out after you're done coming in.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you
like ramming it out. No, what's the
yeah.
Like yanking it out is just as bad as trying to ram it in there.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Actually, even you don't even have to have that giant of a dick for that to be a problem.
Yeah,
like,
like that's common courtesy. I think it's like Emily Post would recommend
arrive and depart politely.
Oh my god, I want to write a like manners book that sounds innocent on the surface, but everything could be applied to your butt.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm trying to think of what other clean up after yourself. Share.
Yeah.
Forks go on the left. Spoons on the right. Start with the smaller glass before you get to the bigger one. No, now we're just leaning.
Yeah. Always accept at least a glass of water.
Pour water in your ass, kids. It's fun. What tips do you have? Do you use? What's your butt plug status? Do you use them? Do you like them? Do you care?
I have a set of graduated ones that I got after we talked about it on the show.
Oh.
And I find them it's fun. But again, my prostate is broken.
Mm-hmm.
So
But you also have a bunch of nerve endings in your butt, and like there are other things that could feel good about it.
At the very least, it has made me not afraid of bottoming. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Like that's good. Like even though it's not the like weird ecstasy that I hear talked about, it's still fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoy myself.
Yeah. And it could get you towards that.
Yeah. Yeah. One tip you already said, like don't bite off more than you can fuck. Like you gotta like, start small and work your way up.
Yeah. Pick smaller than you would think.
Yep.
We've talked about our someday dildo. I still have not. I might have just thrown that away.
Well, you have a new one.
Thanks to Joe Dowse, this is absolutely a someday dildo. Yeah, like you get like a lot of people get a dildo or something, and it's like then you get home and you're like, oh, my eyes were bigger than my sphincter.
Yep. Put a towel down. I find like I'm always worried about like making a mess, right? Like even lube is messy; it gets all over the place. So then I would try like in the bathroom because that's easy cleanup. But then like
it's not very sexy.
It's not very sexy. The floor is cold. I'm uncomfortable and I hate it. But I didn't want to do it in my bed because I don't like to do laundry and that's like messy and gross. But just like put a towel down.
Sure.
Play some music, light a candle. I don't know. Just like
really get into it for yourself.
But like because you have to relax.
Yeah.
You have to relax. And if you're worried about like making a mess, or if you're worried about like my knees hurt because this tile floor is painful, then like it's not going to work and you're not going to have fun. So like just like do yourself a favor and make a space. It sounds like we're preparing people for meditation.
Meditation and butt plugs are more similar than we thought. Justin Michael Williams, what do you suggest?
Yep.
I also think a benefit is a concern I always have is like, am I soups clean down there? So if I get fucked, a good thing about a butt plug and doing it on your own is you can then like when you pull it out, you can smell it and you know if like how clean you are. Because like if it's similar as like if you pull out your dick and it like you can smell it, so you can smell on it if it's okay, and you're on your own. So if there is like a little poopy, a little smell on it, then you know, but no one else has to. Then you wash it off.
Yep. I also I've worn rubber gloves before and even put a condom on a toy before. Because when I was learning more about how do you know if you're clean, how do you know when you've cleaned enough, like and worried about the germaphobe in me is like I'm gonna get literal shit all over the place. So like so that layer of protection helped me to get comfortable with it. I don't do that now. But
I gave you super judgy face and I shouldn't because I learned during a active 3-way that you like sharing butt toys like you shouldn't do. You should, which like, but then I do it anyway. But like that can be bad. You can share like disease and stuff. So I mean, technically, if we're going by the rules,
allegedly. Did we do it?
Yeah, I think that's all the butt plug stuff I had.
Should we take a break?
Butt break. Plug it up. Let's take a break.
Don't pull it out too fast though.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back. What?
No, it's just to transition back, and we just recorded our Patreon segment for the week where two of our listeners controlled Dan's vibrating butt plug. So thank you to, who was that?
Daniele and Brandon.
So if you want to hear Dan just hear it, then go to Patreon. Okay, we're gonna do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest butt plug first.
Butt plug first. Mike, don't wig out.
Okay.
Because the Polari word of the week is wig.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to put that in there earlier, so we're gonna do it now.
Is it like in the normal, like the 80s sense of the word, like don't wig out?
No,
like,
it's not.
Oh,
that was my only way to transition to it.
Oh.
This is a wig for your head, like a drag queen wears, or a cancer patient. Fashioned raya.
Fashioned raya.
Yeah. So raya we know is hair, so it's like building off of that. A fashioned raya. It has been fashioned into raya.
Fashioned raya.
Fashioned raya
Is a wig.
is a wig.
Great.
Cool. I did not find a place to, and kind of forgot about that during the main thing, so had to do it now.
Okay. Well.
Contact info?
Oh, that's it?
No.
That was enough?
Well, did you want to talk more about wigs? Or?
No.
Okay.
Okay, great. Our website is gayishpodcast.com.
All of our social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube is at Gayish Podcast.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages, leave us voicemails, or control Dan's ass, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
And our email is gmail@gayishpodcast.com. We don't say this, each have individual emails if you want to send us individual things. Kyle at, Mike at, and fucking Dan at gayishpodcast.com.
And if you want to mail us dildos, it's P.O. Box...
Well, I mean, send us stuff if you want, but I think we have our fill of dildos.
It's P.O. Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109.
Perhaps we should share our sizes. If anyone wanted to send us shirts or underwear or things like that, so they know.
Oh, God. Okay.
A T-shirt large.
Large or extra large? Depends on the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm medium or small depending on the shirt.
Although I feel weird about telling people, like...
Yeah.
This is just information.
I guess. Okay. Yeah, that's
I'm not
true.
saying, please, everyone, send us a T-shirt now.
Although now if I don't get a shirt...
We received underwear.
I'll fucking say it. Send me some shit. I love it.
Okay. But thank you to Joe in Dallas for sending us our varying sizes, but still all very huge butt plug dildos. Also,
not that big.
Well, it is. Yeah, it is. It is actually. It is that big. And just so you know, Mike mentioned weirdly in the news section that we're doing Shakespeare. So all of our social media, if you want to follow that, stay in touch with what we're doing on Shakespeare, our other podcast that should be coming out this summer. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. All of our stuff is at it's either at Shakespeare Podcast or at Shakespeare Pod.
Instagram and Facebook are Shakespeare Podcast. Twitter is Shakespeare Pod.
So follow that.
So do it.
Gayest and Straightest?
The store Gayest and Straightest. The gayest thing about me this week.
Wow, you're just jumping in. I love it.
I'm dome topping the butt plug episode. So the gayest thing about me this week was being sad and alone on Valentine's Day, because judging from social media, that's the gayest thing you can do is be alone on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I say, like, every gay person that isn't like stupid and in a relationship like had the same like woe is me pity party on Friday. So being on that bandwagon was excruciating.
I'm sorry. I had a great Valentine's Day
you
on my
said.
own. I watched Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I got high. I had some Dominoes. I wrote a little bit. I had such a good single Valentine's Day.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks.
Well done.
Just rub it in your face.
Yeah.
Okay.
The straightest thing about me this week, I was in San Francisco for work, which is like when you're with your work people, you kind of like butch it up already anyway.
Yeah.
And then
Code switching.
Went and met a friend who actually is a listener. But we went to this bar that had a bunch of pinball machines and played pinball, and something about pinball just feels real bro-y and like straight guy.
Yeah, sure played a mean pinball.
And then he kicked my ass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we played the Game of Thrones pinball. It fucking just destroyed me.
Okay,
in a not fun pinball
not
kind
the
of way.
Whenever I play games, I want to have fun and it just be casual and fun, but then when I lose, I don't like it. So I have to try to be like, okay, this is just for fun. If I lost, okay. My gayest thing is, so last week I said I got fiber pills. My gayest thing is when poop just falls out. Like, just.
There's a whooshing sound.
It's just, yeah, you know it when like, you don't even have to wipe it. You just know, like, oh, that was a good one. Also,
Why is everybody telling me about their poop this week? It just keeps happening.
yeah, that's true. Well, then you relayed the other poop information to me to keep me updated. My straightest thing is I have not been on the apps at all this week. Not intentionally. It just hasn't happened. And like, I haven't had sex or done anything like, but not being on the apps, that seems like a regular time killer for me, or I'll check in even like a couple times a week. Not at all.
Candy Crush or apps?
Yeah, it's all been Candy Crush. I haven't gotten Candy Crush in a long time, so I just play Candy Crush.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. Wait. We're going to do listeners?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This one comes from the Gayest and Straightest channel on our Discord server. Thanks again to Brendan Pettigrew for setting that up. It's from at Unbannable. So, Straightest. I left an audience of soccer players and soccer aficionados silent when, while playing goalkeeper for our Saturday soccer tournament, I yelled, "Move the fuck up!" as I was trying to get the defense of my team to move up the field.
That's the goalie's responsibility to like really organize this.
Gayest had a nice bondage session with a cute twink dressed in full soccer outfit. He's into sports gear, where I tied him up in my living room and gagged him with the pair of socks I wore in the before-mentioned soccer game.
Wow. I would hate that, but good for you for like that. Really connecting the dots between your daytime and evening activities.
I like it when a Gayest and Straightest is like a twofer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's it.
That's it.
A special thank you to Daniele and Brendan for controlling Dan's ass in the Patreon segment. And to Dr. Young for inventing the ideal rectal dilators. And
to Allison Kirschbaum, who did that study that Mike really questioned a whole bunch.
This has been Gayish. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch. I was trying to think of a butt plug joke. Be butt, be plug. Yeah, be butch, be fabulous, be you. See you next week.
See you next week.
Plug it up. Bye. Wait, is that it going in or coming out?
Yes.
Let's find out. Oh, boy.